Hey, Jeff, how you doing? It is football psych, babies. It is football psych. Oh my lord! Oh my lord! I appreciate all you guys' support out there. I appreciate it so much. Dia is not going to make it. He got injured. He actually got injured at the game. Somehow the man blew out his ACL. His knee's about that big around and it's wrapped up. So he's going to be out today, but he was at the game in the end zone and giving us live by live comment. And it was not pretty, folks. I tell you that. Now, where on earth is Coach Mad Mike, who set up the show tonight? I have no idea. I'm trying to call him. Coach Mad Mike, where are you? You're not on your own show. So I have no idea what's happening, but I'm trying to call him, folks, and we'll see what's going to happen here. Let me try him one more time. Give him a chance to come on. See what's going on. He might be having computer problems. He's up here in D.C., actually. He had a lot of stuff to do, with the Pentagon and all that other stuff that's going on. Please record your message. Yeah, he's not answering his phone. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Coach Mad Mike, you're late for your own show. Coach Mad Mike. It might be a problem where he forgot his time zone. So first things, tomorrow, folks, is Veterans Day. I want to say a very, 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 very heartfelt happy Veterans Day to all our veterans out there. We got, obviously Dia, Mike and I are vets of the Army. We got a lot of vets out there in the fan base. We appreciate everything that's happening. I hope you all go out and get to your local network, look up vets.com and find out where they're giving you free food. Jeff, absolutely. Salute to you, my friend. But a lot of the restaurants and stuff got free food out there. As a vet, go out and take advantage of that. Go out and shake a hand with someone and let someone say thank you for your service out there, That's very important to get out there and do that. Hey, there's Shaq. He's showing up. So, Shaq, give Coach Mad Mike a call and tell him he's missing his own show. Also, I got to give a big shout out. My father was a former Marine. So, God rest his soul. But today is the Marine Corps' birthday. So, big Veterans Weekend. Also, if you guys didn't catch the game, which I think everyone saw that game yesterday, President Trump, whether you like him, you don't like him, actually got on the air in the middle of the third quarter, called a few plays, did some commentary, and it wasn't bad. He just wasn't bad. I was actually shocked. And I had no idea President Trump in his college days played tight end. So they even pulled up a photo of him showing that he was a tight end. And it was pretty funny, to be honest with you. I have no idea how that went off. But he played 4 years, apparently, in college. And so the man, actually, before he owned a team in the USFL, actually knows something about football. So I was pretty impressed. That's something I didn't know about our president. I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, Jeff, once a Marine, always a Marine. That's right. That's why we say former, right? So, again, folks, very glad to hear that. We got vets out there that support the channel. I also want to thank everybody this week I've been doing some shorts on the Commanders and the Lions on the channel. And the last short that we had just broke 1,000 views. So we got a few new subs out of it, and that means we're growing and people are paying attention. I hope I'm adding some comedy and some flavor to those things so people get a kick out of a little 60-minute short and a check-in with what's going on. So, all right, well, since Coach Mad Mike was supposed to be on the show and he's not on the show, maybe his computer broke. I don't know what's going on, but he's not answering his phone. We had slides prepared. And instead of bagging on the Commanders, which, well, that's just too easy to do. I'd like to bring up some points because I watched the film pretty hard. And I would like to focus on some of the things that were positives out of the game yesterday, which, let's be honest, there were none. But as a team and as individual players, I thought some things were positive. And the first thing I got to talk about is Mariota. Mariota last night stood up and threw some dimes. And I'd like to ask you guys, what did you think about that? Because the guy was on point all night, it seemed to me. Absolutely throwing balls, running when he needed to, and protecting himself. Actually, I thought Jaden Daniels could learn a lot from watching the film of that game last night, where they were down and out. Mariota was still slinging it like nobody's problem. And then another standout. Oh, by the way, we had a comment there. Yeah, the Detroit fans. So I watched half the game. I was at work yesterday. I couldn't get to the stadium with Daya. I'm sitting there listening to the game on my iPhone on NFL.com, and I hear Lions fans cheering. And then when I got home and looked at the film, watched the last half of the game here at home, I got home and watched the film, and that stadium was empty. I mean, I think Daya got a ticket for $69, which is insanity for one of the most expensive stadiums in the country. And I was like, you got it for $69? That's crazy. That is just nuts. Unbelievable. But the sea of blue that was in there, the number of people that put on Lions gear and came to that stadium, even the commentator said it was about a 60-40 mix. The upper deck was empty the whole night, it looked like. So I was like scratching my head on that one. I was like, wow. When Washington fans turn their back, they turn their back. There's just no question about that, right? So, 56, he's saying. $56, Daya saying. So Daya's here. He's just not on the show. Daya, call Coach Mad Mike and give him some guff for not being on his own show. So the next guy I'd like to bring up, which is a guy that we brought in, he's been injury prone, but dadgum if he did not have a good game, and that's Terrion Burks. Terrion Burks had 3 catches for 50 some odd yards and looked solid, got separation. Mariota targeted him. Wasn't targeted last week, really, but he actually showed up in this game for us. So that's crazy, right? When we don't have any receivers, here's a guy that comes in and they start targeting him, and he actually makes plays. He's a big body, tall, 6'2", 6'3" kind of guy, two and change, like 220, 230. You know, he's a big boy. He's a big body in the middle. He's like another Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz, I have to say again, showed up for us in this game. As bad as I want to say it, as bad as we did overall, he was making plays. Mariota was tagging him up. He was making plays. Where was Washington's run game, guys? Where was Washington the run game? You know who came out of the blue on the run game? It wasn't Bill. Bill averaged 2 or 3 yards a carry. Wasn't Rodriguez. It was a third-string guy who was averaging 5 yards a carry. And we still didn't have a run game. What's going on with that? Unbelievable. Second thing is, right before halftime, the Lions are putting it on them. They're feeling the heat. They're frustrated. Things aren't going right. I get it. You're a professional. Apparently, there was some jaw-jacking going on after the touchdown. And Daron Payne threw a punch at St. Brown. The refs caught it. Ejection. Not only did he get ejected, the NFL suspended him today. The very play after that, there was another offensive penalty or defensive penalty for personal foul because one of our guys hit a ref. The attitudes were flying all over the place. Now, the rumor on the mill is that the actual first punch came from St. Brown against Daron Payne, but there ain't no film on it. I looked all day long to try to find it. There was no film on it. No one knew what was going on, and that's what happened. What do you know? Here comes the coach. So not only did Daron get suspended get kicked out of the game, he got suspended for the next game. And Dan Quinn already said, you're out. You're not going to Spain. Sit your big butt at home and cry. And I agree. Dan Quinn has balls. Finally. Coach Mad Mike.
Yeah, man, give me a second because I am just getting these.
All right, I'm on my rip. Just get ready. Put up the stuff you want to show. So I've been telling the fans there, Coach, that I don't want to focus on bagging on the team. They're awful. But I don't think it's actually the players. Yeah, we got problems. Yeah, we're playing with injuries. Yeah, we're old. The problem on this team is the actual coaching. and I've been doing a lot of study on this here the last couple days, last week. My shorts have been all about it. It comes down to coaching and the complete lack of life out of Dan Quinn. And I have to say, as opposed to the short I dropped before the thing, well, we didn't do anything last week to make any changes. Finally, Joe Witt has been sat, and now Dan Quinn's going to be taking over defensive coaching.
Yeah, how do you think that's going to work?
It's not. I'm going to tell you something. I watched 3 games, and I watch every game on Sunday. I watch replays because I'm a football fan, right?
Yep.
Most head coaches I see have something that they hold that they're doing this with. Most of them have something in their hand that they're doing this with. They're active in the game. They're doing something. What is this, folks? You know what this is? Coach, what is this?
I'm not looking at you, man.
It's a play sheet. It's a play sheet. Dan Quinn, this entire game, did not have one shot on the sideline with him in a play sheet. You know where it was? Stuffed in his back pocket. I saw it. Yes. If I have a head coach on the sideline and he's not in his play sheet, then Robert's, what the hell are you doing on my temple? What are you going on? I'm left blue 42-75 on 1 right now. That is not a coach involved in the game. His head's not in the game.
Yeah, let me ask you something. Have you ever seen Andy Reid not looking at a play sheet?
Have you ever seen Andy Reid win 4 or 5 Super Bowls? Sorry. If the man can hold it up here, he can. Dan Quinn can't.
Like most coaches that you see that are successful, they're paying attention. They're following the play sheet.
Dan Quinn does not sit on the sideline with emotion. He's not into a play sheet going, crap, my current game, exactly what you're talking to me about, Coach. Schemes, right? We go out with our A game. Here's our first 15 plays on the call sheet, right? Here's our first 15. Here's what we're going to do. Oops, that's broke. What do we do next? I'm looking at my play. I'm looking for answers. I don't see him looking for answers. I don't see him getting on the mic and going, yo. I just see this. That's what I see. Nothing. What do you got to say to that?
So I'm going to tell you, I am going to put my slides up here and say, I'm sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. My clock is actually still set to Central Time.
I knew that was it. I told you all. He did not reset his clock. I told you.
I did. It's a true statement. But I am ready. As soon as I get these things uploaded, I will be ready to go.
My God.
I was actually talking to my daughter, and then I'm just like, hey, I got to finish getting ready for this show. And next thing I know, I'm already late. I'm just like, oh, my goodness.
I knew it. I told you, folks, he's not at home in Florida. Where he's at in Florida is actually an hour behind us on the East Coast. So now he's up here in D.C., and his head's a mess. The man thinks too much. He ain't got no hair. Can't you tell? That's why. Because he's the coach. The brain is on fire.
My brain is on fire. All right, guys, man, we have got so much to talk about tonight, man. I am telling you, this is going to be a very, very unique show because I did a lot of analysis and a lot of research about this team and what I think we could possibly do. Let me see if I can get this screen set up for you guys and get this ball ready to roll. So you guys should be able to see it on your screen now. Sorry, we're 14 minutes and 20 seconds into the show before I get it together and get it on here, but Lord Sarge has been carrying the water, and, man, everything he said was right on the mark. So here we go. There's some things I kind of want to show you guys tonight. I told you all last time that we said last week that the season was over, and I know you said it already.
Jeff is saying if you wasn't the CEO, you'd be standing tall in front of the old man. You were late.
I was late. I know my sister even called me a message saying, like, I'm all worried about you and stuff. Tell my sister I'm just fine.
Yeah, I'll decorate my board there, Jack. I'll decorate it. How you doing, Jack? Jim, how you doing? Happy Veterans Day to all you guys tomorrow. I know I already said that top of the show.
What is wrong with my slide deck? It's
Oh,
on a
man.
slide.
No,
What?
it's all good. Hey, Coach, what we went over in the first 30 minutes was I didn't want to focus on what was bad because it was all bad. I wanted to focus on where highlights were, and I pretty much called out most of the offense, which was Mariota, Ertz, Treylon Burks, and not Rodriguez and not Bill, but the other guy. I can't remember the running back who had 5 yards average carry.
Are you talking about McNichols?
McNichols, yeah, he had 5 yards of carry in the game, so better than the other guys that averaged 3. So those were my highlights for the offense. I didn't even get to defense because, frankly, I didn't see any. It was a mess. Actually, there was one standout on defense. When Amos went out, which he's out for the season with a broken femur, dear Lord,
Amos is out with a broken femur.
Yep, that push that they made on Gibbs to put him in the end zone where he was on the bottom of the pile snapped his femur. So he's out most likely for the season, they said. It's a broken femur. Yeah, it's halfway through. There's no way he's coming back. They moved Sainristil still out to the edge where he should be. And Sainristil still actually was key in keeping the Lions out of the end zone.
They had him on the outside the most of the season anyway, but they've had him as the number 2. No. They've had him on the outside. But they've had him as the number 2 outside guy. So, like, he's going to have to be the number 1.
He did good. He really did good. Like better.
And then, and especially they had him there because, Marshawn Lattimore was actually across. So Sinistril has been there. I think he's going to be permanently the number 1 for now on if Amos is out. And, because Lattimore is out too, that means Inagbany is going to be the other guy across from him. And we're going to be looking for a new nickel guy, which if I was ventured to guess, I would probably say go with Jeremy Reeves, but we'll see.
Yeah. And Reeves had a couple good plays. All right, listen, Jeff has one. He's like, so the $1 million question. Is Sarge happier that Detroit won or sadder that the Skins lost? Well, I have the answer for you on that. They were going to lose the game. It didn't matter. So am I happy the Lions won? Yeah, because they needed the win to stay in the game because Chicago's coming on strong, right? This season's over in my short toe. That's why I'm wearing black. I'm not going to wear the colors. I'm not going to show the letters. This season's over. It's big. Dan Quinn killed this team this year, period. So, yeah, I'm happy the Lions won because there wasn't any use in us winning. We ain't going nowhere. The only thing we're playing for next year is draft picks and individual performance on the field for a potential position or a trade position next year. That's all these guys got left in front of them. So, yeah, I'm happy the Lions won.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give a different. Well, I'm going to give a different perspective of things that I think Washington should do from here on out because there's a lot. Again, I put a lot of analysis of where I think things should go, and so let's get into it, guys. So, Jerome Payne, disciplinary issues. So, and it's not just Jerome Payne. This team, we've been talking about it all season, has lacked discipline since the beginning of the year. And people have been doing it. This is probably a lot of frustration. He didn't maintain his composure, and now he's out for a game, right? But this is something that the coaching staff needs to do what they need to do to get these guys under control. So this doesn't happen. So I do have a video on that. Just give me a second. What are your thoughts, though, while I'm loading this video up about Jerome Payne and discipline on this team there, Lord Sarge?
Well, he's the captain. He's got to set the tone, and that's the wrong tone to set. I don't know. Listen, I don't know what happened because I wasn't on the field. Only Daya can answer because he was there in the stadium. Could answer if
Brown is walking, and then he just
watch upper right hand corner.
It doesn't look like St. Brown threw a punch first. He's just kind of walking with his hands down by his side, right? Yep. It doesn't look like
St. Brown is walking, and then he just bam.
It sounds like he said something. He probably said something and pissed him off, and he just freaking flat out decked him.
But Tunzel today, all over the news, is saying, "Oh no, he threw the first punch, and the refs missed it." So only Daya, who was in the stadium, could tell us what was going on. But
if he caught it, right? But like here's the thing that they teach you in football, guys. First of all, it's very stupid to throw a punch at a guy who's wearing a helmet.
mhm.
Chances are you're only going to hurt your own hand.
Yeah.
The other thing is when you get caught, it's ejected. It's an ejected thing. So it makes absolutely no sense to throw a punch. It's only going to hurt yourself and your team.
And he's the biggest run stopper we got. And they ran all over us afterwards. Not that they weren't doing that to begin with, but it's just stupid.
Yeah, it just really is.
It killed.
So anyway,
whoever was in the team, he killed it, you know?
So anyway, the game next week is the game to watch. They're in Madrid. They're going to have fun. It's a great time for these players. If anything, it's great family time. Go to Spain, enjoy the sights and stuff. They do have to play a football game, but let's be real. I don't expect the Washington Commanders to win another football game this year, even though Sarge and maybe Shaq will disagree with me, but they are not on a path to win right now.
We don't win against Miami. We got the bye. Who we come back against? Philly?
I don't think we win any more football games.
I don't see us beating Miami. Not after how they just brutalized the Bills. They're on a high.
And Miami might be the easiest game on our schedule.
Yeah.
I don't think we're winning it.
Mm-mm.
So we have a very, very tough road ahead, and we are not in a good position. Our season is over. We called it last week.
Yep.
So part of my proposal here going forward is, well, if you know that your season's over, and let's face it, guys, we should know by now that our season is over. If there are any more delusional fans out there that think that there's anything left to salvage out of this season, man, get over yourself, because this season is over. Okay? All thoughts of even going to the playoffs should be out of your mind.
The analysts were talking about that last night. They're saying there's still a chance. And I'm like,
there's no chance.
What are you looking at? No, there ain't.
They're looking mathematically at the equation without understanding the situation of this football team.
Yeah.
This football team is done. They're not going to win any more football games. I'm calling it. They're not going to win.
They might win one there, Coach. Maybe one.
They're not going to win.
Lucky.
All right. So anyway, this ought to be cool. I mean, my wife even told me, hey, if I would have told her about it a little bit earlier, we would have hung out in Madrid a little bit, and I could have went and saw this game. But then again, didn't really want to go. So I didn't let her know earlier enough. So otherwise I would have been there.
But that would be so cool. The first game ever in Madrid. Oh,
I could have made it, but I didn't plan accordingly. So it's on me. But anyway, not to be stuck on that. It's just really cool that the game's going to be there, but I fully expect the Dolphins to win. So what I decided to do was take some time to think. You alluded to this. You don't think it's the players. I do think it's the coaches, but I also think it's the front office. It's not just the coaches.
Yeah.
It's Adam Peters.
The whole head shed.
The whole head shed. So what I did was I came up with the top 10 mistakes off the field that ruined the Commanders' season. Because this came down to a series of bad decisions off the field that handicapped and killed this team this year.
Yep.
And that's what I'm going to go over for. And I'd like to get your guys' comments. If you guys agree with me or you disagree with me, put your comments in the comments section, because I would really like to know. Because I'm telling you, I believe that the front office killed the football team this year. And here is number one mistake: drafting Josh Connerly in the first round instead of an edge rusher.
Yep.
We talked about that in the offseason. Our number one need in the offseason was edge rusher. We had the 29th overall pick. This was the deepest edge draft class in the history of the National Football League. And we go with an offensive lineman. I'm not saying that Josh Connerly is bad. He's a good football player, and he's probably going to be pretty good, but it wasn't the critical need of this team. We needed an edge rusher. And guess who? All the guys, now listen there, those are all the guys that we passed on to go with Josh Connerly. We had a chance at Jahad Campbell and Donovan Izaraku, who's been like playing lights out.
Yep.
We had to pick at any of these guys. Instead, we chose to go with Josh Connerly. And this isn't
who's
Monday
not
Night
turned
Football.
out to be quite the guy we thought he would be. He's got a lot of weaknesses, and it showed up this week. Bad.
Well, he's a 20-year-old kid who needs
Yeah.
time to develop. I think he's going to be great as a tackle over time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what this team needed to win.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you what, this is the problem when you listen to your offensive coordinator about what their want list is compared to what their need list is. Because Cliff Kingsbury said, oh, I would really, really want, like, it would be like Christmas come early if you just give me that right tackle. And the right thing to have been to do is saying, no, I hear what you want, but this ain't Christmas. This is summertime, and I'm going to give you what you need. And what this team needs is an edge rusher. And they screwed it up. That was mistake number one. And then it compounds. Second mistake, not trading Marshawn Lattimore.
Especially after his one pick in the season.
So we had many times to trade this guy. He was garbage last year. He was hurt last year. He had a history of PIs last year. I said we need to take a look at him in the offseason and see and give him a whole offseason to develop. He showed no signs of improvement. By the end of preseason, we should have traded him. We would have saved $16 million of cap space to sign somebody else and only incurred a $2 million cap penalty. But we had every single week after that to trade him, all the way up to the trade deadline. I even called it. It would be so great right before the trade deadline if he'd make one pick, we take him off the field and trade him.
Coach,
And what did he do?
Let me ask you.
What did he do, Lord Sarge? He got the pick.
Like right after we closed the show, right in the first quarter, he makes a pick. I thought I was going to fall out my chair and have diarrhea. I was like, how did Coach call that? How did he call that? I have no idea. But let me ask you a deeper question. Should we even have gotten him to begin with last year? Should we even have taken Lattimore?
It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to say, like, what we had to do this year. This year, like the top 10 mistakes this year, I'm not talking about mistakes last year. I'm talking about just mistakes that we made this year. We had many opportunities in the preseason and every single week all the way up to the trade deadline to include the pick that I called to trade him. No, we hold on to him. Then he hurts and he's out for the season. And we're sucking up all that cap space money. Like, we don't learn. And they're just not smart people.
Then what's his value next year?
No, he had no value.
No trade value at all, right?
No trade value at all, because he's going to be worth $18 million coming off of an injury, and he sucked before he came off the injury.
Yeah, we're not going to pay that. We're going to cut him. And we lost
everything. So, like, we just shot ourselves in the foot multiple times. I mean, it was clear based on his past performance that his injuries, his poor performance, and his constant pass interference penalties, his blown coverages, his always having to chase receivers down because they burned him. It was just clearly that he's lost it. And now that he's coming off IR, he's done. He's cooked. And we missed our opportunity. Missed our opportunity to get any kind of value out of him. All right, mistake number 3. Re-signing Terry McLaurin to a massive contract.
Oh, you sure that isn't number 1?
They're not like numbered by like priority. I'm just talking 10 mistakes.
That's number 1.
But
no, it's number 2.
This also in the offseason. We were like, as soon as he started holding out, I was like, we should not sign a 30-plus-year-old receiver. It's a bad call. You just don't do it. We always screw ourselves when we do this stuff. And we signed to a massive 3-year, $96 million contract. So now we're married to the dude.
And he's out this week, too.
$30 signing bonus.
He's out this week, too. He's not going to Spain.
No.
What is a quad? What do you do to a quad that takes you out for 5 games?
Let me tell you something. This happens to the Commanders/Redskins through our history. As long as I can freaking remember. When you sign a 30-plus-year-old player to a massive contract, they're basically retired in their head. And they're going to break down. So you just don't do it. How many times have I told you, Lord Sarge, you do not pay somebody based off of past performance?
That's right.
You pay somebody over perceived future performance.
Yep.
30-year-old receivers do not pan out real well. There's
Yeah.
always exceptions to the rule, but as a general rule, sell high. What we should have done was trade him when his value was skyrocketed. When he started holding out, trade him.
Yep. As
We
soon
could
as
have got massive draft
the
picks for him.
holdout happened, that should have been the red flag to trade, right? If he
Trade.
was playing for the team and said, "Okay, I'm in, give me your best deal," and he took the best deal, okay, it's a chance, right? But there was no rub, and he's in practice, he's in preseason, he's out there producing, right? You're gonna get hurt, right? But wouldn't you know, the luck of the draw, he gets not even a real injury, a quad. What the heck is a quad? And this is 5 games.
That's actually from not stretching out and warming up. So I'm gonna tell you right now, we are now, because of crappy freaking deals made by the front office, we are now married to this guy for a minimum of the next 2 years.
Yep.
Because it will cost us more money and more dead cap space by cutting him or trading him than just keeping him. And I'm guarantee you, when a guy turns 31 or 32, forget it.
Yeah.
He's done. He's done. We're just shelling out money for nothing, and we can't sign other great players because he's taking up cap space.
Coach, what if Terry McLaurin was only 29 when this all came up? Would you have still had the same opinion at 29 versus 30?
He basically was 29, but he was a late 29.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just say a solid early 29.
Yeah, I go 28 and younger when I'm signing long-term
28.
contract.
So really in your head as a head coach, you'd be looking at a guy that's 28 looking for his big deal because he's produced, he's been loyal, etc. If he's 28, you give it to him. As soon as he passes 28, that's off the if you want to play games like that, see you later, right?
Games like he played, yeah, he's gone. I'm going to trade high
I
every
agree
time.
with you, Coach.
100% every time. I don't care who you are, unless you're a franchise quarterback, and I'm still scratching my head because, like I have to see top level quality performance. Like, you got to remember, Terry McLaurin. Like, people thought highly of him, but he was ranked number 17 out of all available quarterbacks last year. He wasn't a top 15 receiver, but we ended up paying him top 5 money.
Yep.
So, those are just not smart decisions. All right,
they should have just cut the chain early and said, you know what? We love you. You've been great for this team, and we want you to go get paid. Please go do that somewhere else, and we'll take our draft picks.
We didn't
get anything, right? We got nothing. How are we going to rebuild a team? You're our number one value on the team that we could get the most. Out of any other guy on the team to trade, he was that guy.
He was that guy. And you know what? There was other receiver types of people that we could have traded for with him. And guess the beauty of that is you don't accumulate the dead cap space when you trade for another player. They are, like, for people who don't understand how contracts work, the guaranteed money and the signing bonus goes off to the person, to the team that signs the contract. When you trade them, that doesn't follow them. You're only responsible for the base salary, which comes with no cap hit. So those are the beauties of working a trade deal like that, so you don't get stuck. So I would rather have done like a trade for him for Hendrickson or somebody like that.
Anyone.
So I got a player, a massive, great player with no cap penalties, no guaranteed money, signing bonuses, all stuff like that, because they've already been taken care of, and I have no cap hits.
Yep.
Right? Mistake number 4. Cliff Kingsbury sticking to the RPO scheme.
Wait. You get claps for that there, Coach.
So Cliff Kingsbury's scheme, he's got a bad track record with this. And for some reason, nobody's got through to him in his head. Maybe because he doesn't know another scheme. But Cliff Kingsbury is on record knowing that he broke Kyler Murray in Arizona. And he's now done the same thing with Jane Daniels in Washington. And the worst part about it is Jane Daniels is more frail than Kyler Murray is.
He's a tiny little guy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so it was just a matter of time before you hurt him.
He's not Josh Allen. I mean, or a Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have any. The boy is twig thin.
Yeah, he doesn't have the beef. So here's the other thing. Our franchise should know better. Because we went under the same crap when we were under Kyle Shanahan and we were doing this with RG3. And you know what? In season 2, we broke them. Guess what we're doing with Jane Daniels in season 2? And we're breaking them. We don't learn nothing.
So, Coach, I'm going to ask you a question. Since the injury came out to be, and thank gosh for him, right? Thank gosh for him and for the team. The injury is not nearly as serious as what it looked like in the replay, all right? In the replay, it looked like he snapped ligaments, broke elbows,
Yeah, it looked bad. It looked real bad.
It looked horrifying. I watched that thing like 1,000 times. I'm
right.
But now that we got a bye coming up after this next loss, we got a bye coming up, and he's going to be eligible after the bye. Do you or do you not, as a coach, think we should play him for the rest of the season?
No, I bubble wrap him the rest of the year. He's done.
That's
the reason why.
I agree. Folks, tell us what you think. Should Jaden play if he has a chance, or should he bubble wrap him, sit on the sideline, and heal up? What is your opinion out there?
Yeah, my opinion is he is now getting healthy, and he needs to develop and get stronger and work on some things before next year. He's training for next year now. We're not winning this year. I don't need to be risking my franchise quarterback this year. Right. And I'm going to get to what we should do instead, because it's not what we're doing right now.
I know what we should do for Christmas. We need to buy Jaden Daniels a slip and slide and a slip and slide coach. We need to put that slip and slide out on the lawn and have him practice sliding on a slip and slide.
And I've got a couple more suggestions too. So, but anyway, but even under this RPO, you see the last bullet. We never developed Jaden to slide or throw the ball away out of the bounds when he's out of the pocket. What does he do when he gets out of the pocket now? He runs out of bounds and takes a loss in yardage, which makes no sense to me. Why not, when you get outside the pocket, would you not just throw the ball away and not lose the yardage? You can't sustain. These are so bad habits. Where's the coaching? Where's his own head at?
Who is our QB coach?
Oh God, he's that freaking washed up old freaking quarterback who never really panned out in the NFL anyway. I can't remember his name. It's slipping me off top. You'll have to Google it real quick. But like, he needs to go too, because like, if you're not going to develop these quarterbacks, what the flip are you doing all day? But yeah, he's like a guy. He played in the NFL for a very short period of time. And I think he was an old freaking Lions freaking quarterback. I mean, he was either old Lions or old Seahawks quarterback.
Tavita Pritchard?
Yeah. I think it was an old freaking Lions quarterback.
Who is that guy? He sucks.
Yes, he sucks.
He's been there since 2023.
Yeah, last year. Or the year before last.
And he was in college before that. Yeah.
Anyway, we need Jane Daniels to develop, to get stronger and develop and get sharp. There's no value in putting him in the game this year.
Yeah.
Because the season, again, is over. What we need to do is get him healthy, and he needs to start learning for next year.
You know what, Coach?
And you need to get back to basics, and you need to teach him basic things. The slip and slide idea is a good one. The other one is I would wear him out on film footage. I want you to see every single play that you did where you ran out of bounds for a loss of yardage.
Yeah.
And I want you to watch it over again. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make you a highlight reel of you running out of bounds for a loss of yardage. Because there is a long film, and I'm going to make you watch every one of those plays and tell me what you should have done. Should have thrown the ball away, Coach. What about this one? Should have thrown the ball away, Coach.
But you know what? Deeper this year in the offseason, we needed to go get us Kingsbury's got to go. He's not going to get a head coaching job out of this season. We all thought if we had another playoff season, Kingsbury's gone. That was the talk, right? We all were in on that. It's clear that ain't going to happen. So we need a new offensive coordinator, but one that's a great QB coach that can coach Daniels up, because that's what's missing. This guy.
I'm going to tell Dan Quinn something right here, because I know he watches the show. If you do not get a new offensive coordinator this offseason, you won't be around the next offseason. I'm going to tell you.
He's going to make it this year.
He'll make it this year because he's buddies with Adam Peters.
If he loses every other game, you think he's going to stay?
Yep.
Whew. We've already lost. Dable just got fired with the Giants midseason. Dable.
It doesn't
we
matter.
We could bring Dable in. Dable would be great.
Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, you can fire these guys now. I think the guy most on the hot seat right now is Joe Witt. But
yeah,
Cliff Kingsbury is going to be gone this coming off season.
Yep.
Dan Quinn is going to get one more year because he's buddies with Adam Peters. But you're only going to get one more year, buddy. And you better find you a good offensive coordinator that can get this thing done. And you better find a good defensive coordinator, because if you don't right the ship next year, then you're going to be gone the following year.
Might be gone mid-year.
I don't. Adam Peters is not known to get rid of coaches.
He's not that kind of a guy. Adam Peters.
He's not that kind of guy. He'll stick you out to the end of the year, but then you're done, right? Because no team gains anything by firing a coach midseason. There's never been a case where that's actually been a good thing.
San Francisco did it one year and did okay.
Nah, it doesn't work.
They did okay.
Oh.
They weren't great.
But anyway, all right, next mistake. Mistake number 5. Trading running back Brian Robinson for a 6th-round draft pick. Are you kidding me?
Yes! I'm glad you brought this one up. Yes! Good job, coach.
Because
he had another great game with San Francisco, had another touchdown.
So here's the thing. I get when you give away all your draft capital to go get Tinzel, that you're like, oh, I might be able to get a draft pick back for him. But a 6th-round pick, what is that going to do for you, man? I'm sorry, man. Like, you just gave him away for nothing. And we needed the bruising power back. The 1-2 punch with Corey Crosby Murray. Even if you were sure Bill's your number 1 dude, you don't get rid of B-Rob. Not only that, but you re-signed McNichols and Rodriguez when there was several better running backs out on the market at the time.
Yep.
That you could have brought in as a number 3. Imagine having a strong number 3 with B-Rob and Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt. You would have had a great running back room. You missed the mark. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not real convinced you're going to be able to make up with it with whoever you think you're going to draft in the 6th round.
Yeah. No, of course not.
All right, let's go on number 6. Signing 30-year-old plus players to primary positions. Come on, guys. You went all the way to the NFC Championship game last year, and your solution was I'm gonna hire a bunch of senior citizens and consider, in NFL years, 30-plus players to fill primary roles.
Yeah.
Now, Laramie Tunsil, we gave up way too much for him, but he's been doing all right. Bobby Wagner, re-signing him to a 1-year deal. Okay, he's played solid, but he sucks in pass coverage.
He had a horrible game this game.
Yeah.
Instead of moving, I watched a play where they threw a sideline. Gibbs came out of the background as a running back, came out as a halfback to the sideline. And instead of him squaring up and attacking, which Dan Quinn said we're going to do, you know what Wagner did? Backed up past the 1st down yard line and then tackled him, allowing Gibbs to get it. I saw it happen on 2 other plays.
That's because Wagner was afraid he was going to get burned.
Yeah.
And Bobby Wagner Wagner cannot pass coverage at all. He's just a good tackler. But he's going to give up yards even on the tackles because he's afraid of getting burned.
Yep.
Zach Ertz plays solid too, but he has games where he's been shut down.
Yep.
So and then when you look at Von Miller, please, come on. He's way past his prime. Eddie Goldman ain't done anything.
Brought him in and the sideline said, hey, Von Miller's into stuff to play. He actually did. And
but listen,
and he's out.
Von Miller takes more plays off than actually makes good plays.
Yeah, I want it, for $1 million, for $1 million, put his ass in the game. I want to see his ass in there more.
We pay him $8 million.
Break him. What do you care? You spent the $1 million, but break his butt. Make him go work for the money.
Marcus Mariota, re-signing him, whatever. Chris Moore, why?
Mariota, no. Mariota.
No. You're not going to convince me on average players. Mariota's an average player.
As a backup? You didn't want to?
No, that's not a person I want as a backup. I don't want freaking Mariota. I definitely don't want Josh Johnson.
Well, now Josh Johnson, I agree. But why wouldn't you take Mariota?
I wouldn't want any of these guys on the freaking roster because they're too freaking old. You know who I want as a backup player? I want somebody who's up and coming. I want a guy who I can develop and I can grow. So when
Sure, but you didn't do anything in the draft.
To do.
Yeah.
You know who I would want as the backup? Sam Hartman. Although I wasn't real big on Sam Hartman. I would have rather gone up and got Sam Howell back on the team or get another guy. There's a lot of young guys out there that you can bring as a backup guy that are young.
I liked Howell. You liked Howell. I liked Howell. I thought it was a loss to trade him away.
All right. But this is not how you build a team. You don't build a team by going out and getting 30-plus-year-old players. You just don't do that. I will always, listen to me, guys. Like, you can go like, Mike, what the flip do you know? I know it takes more than 1 year to develop a team and get them cohesively work together. And then the more that they can get more reps and work together and get timing as a team, the better off you're doing. When you sign somebody 30-plus years, that's a stopgap. You can't build a team with stopgap players. So if all things are even, do I go and get a 23-year-old quarterback or a 39-year-old quarterback? I'm going to get a 23-year-old quarterback. Why? Because I can develop him. I can hold on to him for years to come. And when he learns my system, he can grow in it. You're not growing a 39-year-old quarterback.
All right.
And I don't care if he comes in one game and that 39-year-old quarterback goes, oh, well, he had a pretty decent game. That's not how you build a football team, guys. Yeah. All right. Mistake number 7. Not bargain shopping for youth. Instead, going with age and injury history players. We signed several players that have injury histories. We signed several players that are over 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to bargain shop for youth and coach them. We had limited draft picks because we gave them all away for Marshawn Lattimore and we gave them all away for Laramie Tunsil. So look what I wrote, Lard Sarge. Players that are under 28 years old.
Yep, you did. I see it loud and proud.
A team gels over time. It's not just spending time together like on a plane.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Now that you brought that up, I got to bring this up. So I watched the post game with DQ.
Yeah.
And of course the question came up, what are you going to do to get better? And he's like, well, our plan is, the team always does better when they're all together. So in the next 24 hours, we're all going to be on the plane together and the boys are going to work it out.
Let's watch part of that.
That was his answer as a head coach on what
we sure as hell aren't coaching or playing up to it. We're way off, and that's up to us to fix that. And I also told the team it's for us to go away, get it together. Not the worst thing for us. We got to find solutions, where we're at, and doing that together. That's the right space to go do it. So we'll take it on the road tomorrow night, and we got a lot of things to fix. Like I said, we're off course, things to address, and being together is the best way to go do that.
Dan, you've tried different things to fix that defense. None of it has worked. How do you explain that, and how baffled are you by what's going on?
Yeah, we're all obviously disappointed, like just execution, not creating takeaways, the ones to go. And I think, over why you're seeing that, that's definitely frustrated, and we all are. Baffled, frustrated, all of that,
Brown is walking, and then he just...
The man does not have an answer. The answer is not, let's get on a plane together and we'll figure it out. That is not an answer.
No. And
I'm going to figure it out on an airplane ride to Spain.
Yeah. And just like my second comment, that's not how a team gels. They gel over time by being battle tested and weathered, and they got to do reps. And they got to go and do reps over and over. And they got to go against tough competition. And that's how they gel. And that's how they get the timing on.
Hard, tough, difficult coaching.
That's right. And you got to get on them and get out of them. You got to review it in the film room and going through all those trials and tribulations. That's how you gel. Not spending time together on a flight to freaking Madrid. So.
I thought that was, listen, if there's any quotes that that any dumb head. I know I rode what's his face with the Broncos for the golf club incident last year, saying he had a great golf swing. I know I rode him pretty hard on the channel, right? But this one takes the cake too far.
It
Like,
does.
we're going to figure it out on an airplane ride to Spain.
Oh my gosh. So you're right, Jack. It's already been mentioned. DQ is taking over the defense. That decision's already been made, my friend. Joe Witt is still the defensive coordinator, but his play calling has been taken away from him already. DQ is now calling plays on defense. So, which tells me Joe Witt will be fired at the end of the season.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
We're calling it here. We're calling it here. Joe Witt.
He's done.
That's it.
So, but again, NFL players that are older than 28 feel holes, right? But that's not how you sustain team structure.
Right.
The way you sustain team structure, you got to build it on youth, and you got to have them grow up a little bit together, and they got to go through trials together. And sometimes it takes a guy a couple years on the team before they actually get integrated and gel with the team. And so you always have somebody who's growing into it, but you always got some guys that are on the team that are already there. And that's how you sustain it over time.
And you got to have the right coaches to bring those guys along.
And coaches need to be player developers. They actually have to coach. They're not just play callers.
Yep.
They actually have to coach. This idea, this mentality that you don't really have to coach professional players is wrong. I don't care what level you are. If you want to build a team together, you have to coach. In the NFL, you have to player develop because it's a huge leap for most players going from college to the NFL. So you have to develop them. You can't get NFL-ready players at every position every year. It's almost impossible to do. So you have to have a player development program. Mistake number 8. Not building an edge rushing core, Large Sarge.
No comment.
Hey, we talked about them not missing it in the draft, but they also missed it in free agency. They missed it in free agency. They missed it for months in free agency.
2 years
all the
they
way
missed
up
it.
to the point where they got so desperate that they went out and got Von Miller because there was nobody else left.
And they're not even using him.
Well, I mean, there's only so much you can use. There's a reason why he was still on the table. He doesn't have much left in the tank, but they signed that dude out of desperation. Now, he's made a couple good plays, but mostly bad plays. Right? So you could be like, oh, well, he's got a few sacks under his belt. Well, man, if you actually look at his total body of work this year, it's atrocious. I would grade him out to be like 30%, which in anything is like a failing grade. Right? So, like, that's just not what you do. We missed the mark completely on edge rushing, and it shows in every game. We had no pass rush.
Totally. And
that's why our defense doesn't work.
And I'm paying $1 million. I want $1 million of effort. I don't want you. Von Miller's a legend. He's a Pro Bowl guy. He's a Hall of Fame ready guy, right?
He should have retired last
year. And if I burn you out, then I burn you out. But you need to be on the field more.
He can't do anymore. He needs to be retired.
Then
he needs to be retired.
That proves your point even more. Then he should have never been signed.
Never been signed. But the reason why that happened was because our front shed screwed up. They missed him in the very deep draft, and we had a lot of free agent edge rushers, and they all came off the board quick. And it shows. That's the reason why at this particular point, you can go up against the Lions and they're going to score on every single drive, which is what they did. They had 8 drives, 5 touchdowns, 3 field goals. They literally scored on every drive. Why? Because we have no pass rush, amongst other things that we're not doing very well. Right? But a lot of it starts with the pass rush.
Yep.
So, all right, mistake number 9. Joe Witt. I'm just going to say Joe Witt is mistake number 9. He's been so sporadic on his defensive scheme There's no
My
clear
God.
base defense that I did because I went back and looked at these films. I'm like, what are they running? Are they running a 4-3? Are they running a 5-2, a 3, a 4-2-5? Are they running a 3-4? Are they running a Tampa 2? Like he's just throwing all kinds of defenses out there. There's no clear base defense, which means there's such lack of communication. They're completely confused out there. It's poor coverage, bad play calling, no pass rush. It's like that's why nothing is freaking working.
Yep.
And
Be
all
who
his
you are. Figure out who you are and be that. And call your plays accordingly. Use your personnel accordingly.
The problem is you can't do that mid-season. What you should have done is figured out the identity of your team and the skills and what your defensive players that you were skilled to actually do and develop a scheme accordingly, or go out and get the players that fit the scheme that you want to do and say, this is what we're running.
Yep.
And here's the braces and sequels off of that. And we're going to give you many, many reps, and you're going to perfect this trade craft because this is what we're going with. But if you're bouncing around, it leads to mass confusion, and that's exactly what's happening with this team. We can't stop nothing because guys don't even know which way they're going.
Coach, you think Dan Quinn's going to be any better with
no, because
without
they're
a defensive play call sheet in front of him? You think he's
they're
going to be
already
any
in
better?
disarray.
It's going to get worse. Guarantee you it's worse with him calling the defense.
I don't think it'll get worse. It'll be more of the same because it's the same garbage play sheet that he's going to do it. Just him calling a different play is not going to be enough.
Worse.
These players have to know exactly what you're going to be calling and have reps under it and be able to communicate effectively on it. So maybe if Dan Quinn scales it down without it getting too vanilla, focus on at least doing those things right, maybe he'll be able to kind of get it a little bit better. But like this is stuff that has to happen in the offseason.
Yeah. Let me give you an A-B scenario. Okay. This will be good. This will be good for you to listen to and everyone out there. Detroit Lions. No, it's a Commanders channel, but they played us. So things have not been going well with John Morton. Accordingly, John Morton's the OC for the Lions, right? So Dan Quinn, after the embarrassing loss at home to Minnesota Vikings, said, that's it. I take full responsibility. His press conference was, I suck as a head coach. I did not prepare my team. The entire loss is on me. I will fix it. And they went out in the trade week, made some trades, made some assignments, and Dan Campbell said, give me that dadgum play sheet. I'm calling the offensive plays. And sure enough, if not on the sideline, you saw Dan Quinn out there with a play sheet, calling plays into the quarterback, got Jameson involved, did some different things, and the Commanders had no freaking answer. Dan Quinn's situation is, we'll figure it out when we get on the plane, because we love, it's a culture. That's the difference. Dan Quinn is not a head coach. He's not.
He'll get one more year, though. He'll fire his coordinators. He'll get one more year because he's buddy with Adam Peters. And Adam Peters will give him the benefit of the doubt. Because the real bad problem, the real mistake that's going on right now is Joe Witt. So he's going to be the first to get cut.
Mm-hmm.
And Cliff Kingsbury, I think everyone was planning on him taking a head coaching job, but he's not going to get one.
Mm-mm.
So either way, you should be planning for him not to be here. Head coaching job or no head coaching job, he's gone.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, Dan Quinn will get one more opportunity with two new coordinators to show some like we're riding the ship, or he'll be gone the following year.
Now, Jack is saying the KC game was a basic defense we played in the first half. And you know what, Jack? I'm going to agree with you. Listen, I thought that was going to be a blowout game and we get our rear ends handed to us. And at halftime, it was 7-7. And our defense had 2 takeaways. And I'm sitting there going, what just happened? What did they do? Because they didn't take the practice field until Thursday. And I was writing right on the channel here. I was writing them saying, why are you not on the practice field? Why did you take 4 days off? And maybe it was the schooling or the culture or maybe they all went in the hot tub and decided to play. I don't know. But that first half against KC looked like a football team. And I got on this channel and I told Coach and I told Daya, this is not a player situation. Clearly we have players. Clearly, people can make plays. This is a coaching situation.
Yeah, because you know what they didn't do? No adjustments at halftime. What did Andy Reid do? He adjusted like a mother at halftime. And guess what? We went in the second half thinking that we would do the same thing, that Kansas City wouldn't adjust. And we had no answer to their adjustment.
Zero.
So that was the call in that game, which tells me that they have no branches and sequences off of their playbook, and they're just not very good. Which Dan Quinn is notorious for not making any adjustments to his game plan.
Mm-hmm.
He did it as Dallas as a defensive coordinator, which blew them that playoff game when he was within Dallas, because he didn't make any adjustments. And he had the same thing in the Super Bowl when they were in Atlanta, when he was with Atlanta, and he went into that Super Bowl game and he got up early, looked like they had it in hand. All of a sudden, they started getting their butt kicked, made no adjustments, and he got his butt kicked and lost the Super Bowl. So he's notorious for not being able to make any kind of.
He didn't just lose the Super Bowl. What did they score? 28 points in the first half. It was 28-0, 28-3.
I don't remember the exact score, but
it was a complete blowout that they totally blew in the second half.
Why? Because he's notorious for saying, "Hey, let's keep doing what we're doing." And then when someone makes an adjustment off of it, he has no answer. He didn't have it in Atlanta. He didn't have it in Dallas. And he's showing he doesn't have it here. Right? He's learned nothing.
And that's probably because he needs to take the call sheet from out back of the small of his back, getting all stunk up by his butt crack, and putting it up here and actually reading it. Hey,
all right, we're running out of time. So mistake number 10, shallow offensive play options. Okay, so it's probably, as I mentioned before, the overemphasis on the RPO.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is even more intense than that. Their playbook is very, very shallow. There's no depth for any kind of adjustments in the game plan when things are unsuccessful. Same with the defense, which was what we already talked about, right? There's too many bubble screens. There's very, very limited draw plays. There's virtually no drag routes. They have no ability really to stretch the field. The receivers can't get separation, and there's very little play action. So, like, you don't really have a lot to work off of in there. And allegedly, this is an air raid offense, but I don't really even see any air raiding going on.
Now, I'll tell you, in this game, there were two great plays. Lane came down with a 30-yard, and Treylon Burks came down with a 40-yard pass play, where Mariota had to fit into a tight window, but he did. And they stretched the offense. They stretched the defense.
Yeah, so I want to capitalize on that a little bit.
You know, finally, they're throwing the ball deep, but 2 plays.
Yeah, that's not enough. Yeah. And so guys, I want to take a thing. Hang with me. I know there's a few of you still on here. Hang with me, because I want to show you where I would place my emphasis, because you're like, okay, what do you do now? Mm-hmm. We're past the trade deadline. Okay, I got it. We have all these mistakes that we made in the offseason. It's like we've ran out of options. What do we really do at this point?
Right.
I'm giving you my last ditch effort, not to salvage this season, but to try to give you what I would do if everybody else was fired and I took over. What would I do?
I want to hear this.
Okay. This is what I would do, folks. I'll go, okay, this season's over. I'm preparing for next season. So what has gone well? Well, I love Ja'Cory Cross-Bemer. Bill has done good, but we don't use him enough. So let's use him some more. Deebo Samuels looked pretty good, so let's keep using him. Laramie Tunsil, okay, we gave up a lot for him, but he's holding his own. Huh?
Does Deebo stay?
Yeah, well, I'm not even worried about that right now. I'm just talking about how do I go forward. I mean, he's done well.
Oh, from this week until the end of the year.
Right? This is for till the end of the year.
Okay, got you.
What has gone well that I kind of want to keep working on? I really want to keep working with Deebo, because Deebo is going to set the stage for my other young receivers. Mm-hmm. Crosby Merritt, I want him to continue to develop. Laramie Tunsil, I want him to show leadership on that offensive line. All right, we've got another year or two with him, and I want to protect whoever I got at quarterback, right? Jacob Martin's been on fire. I just kind of want to keep that going a little bit, right?
Martin needs to go. He's awful. This game was horrifying how bad he did.
Well,
He needs coaching or gone.
He's going to be gone. I'm going to tell you he's going to be gone. Bobby Wagner, I want him playing because he's making tackles, but he's like, I've been saying this for many, many weeks. Take him off the field during pass plays.
Yeah.
He has no ability to cover a freaking pass. Take him off the freaking field.
Yep.
He needs to be on clear running down situations and clear running situations
in the box.
only.
In the box, right? In the box.
In the box only. That's the only skill he has left. And the only other thing that's gone well this year is we closed the deal to get a new stadium in DC. Those are the only things I think that's gone well this year for us.
Oh my God, that's sad.
All right. I mean, can you think of anything else that's gone well for us? No. No, you know, you see, you're drawing a blank. All right. So here's what I would do now. I would shut Jaden Daniels down and Terry McLaurin down. They're both hurt. I want them building for next year. There's no use on using Terry McLaurin for anything else this year.
Why risk getting him injured when you still have
anything else this year?
Why use Terry McLaurin when you have so much money invested and he could get really hurt? Yeah, I agree.
I'm done with both of them. You both are freaking. You guys are going to be coaches from now on. You're going to coach from a quarterback perspective, and you're going to look at all your bad film, Jaden. Terry McLaurin, you're going to get healthy because I don't want to hear no freaking excuses about you next year. And you're going to get a whole full freaking offseason because you didn't even have an offseason this past year.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to play youth players that are on contract for next year because I want to player develop them. Mm-hmm. This is what I would do if I was taking over right now. This is what I would do with this team. What to do now? This is what I would do.
Yep.
I think I would already be starting looking for a replacement for Joe Witt. And I would tell DQ he needs to assess what's working defensively for the rest of this year and get other veterans to give him input. Hey, what do you see out there? Just to calibrate what he's doing and go, okay, because I want to try to fix this little bit of stuff on defense, but I'm going with youth. Adam Peters needs to develop his offseason strategy starting today. He needs to be thinking about who he's going to hire as a new defensive coordinator and possibly an offensive coordinator. He needs to come with his draft strategy now. And I'm going to tell you what you need to do with your number one pick right now. Don't you dare freaking draft anybody with your number one pick. Don't you dare do it.
Yeah, trade it.
You trade it and you get as many picks as you can because we need a lot of football players.
What do you think let's say we finish in the top 10 of number one. Let's say we're number 9 or number 10.
I don't have time to get into it because I still got a lot more material.
Just throw it out there. Can we get 2 second rounders?
Like a second, a third, freaking fifth, whatever you can get.
Can we get a couple second rounders?
And if you can get 3 or more picks for that pick, do it.
3 or more. Okay.
I want picks. Okay? All right. You need to place more emphasis. I would place more emphasis right now on developing players and sustaining series. I don't care about winning a football game at this particular point.
Right.
I care, I want to see these young players sustain drives, or I want to see on defense you shutting down drives. That's all I care about. And I want to see you developing these players.
Yep.
Where I can take that film into the film room and I can work with these young guys. Look here, this is what you need to work on. This is what you need to work on. Because I want to build a library of film that we can go in the offseason with. I'm going to adjust to higher percentage offensive and defensive plays. What do we do really, really well? All the crap that has very, very low percentage, throwing it out of the playbook. We're going to streamline our crap right now. And we're adjusting to our younger talent. That's all we're doing. We're adjusting. That's what I would do right now. So who would I play? Let's talk about that real quick. I'm sorry, guys, we're over on time, but I think you guys are going to really love it.
We got people hanging with us. Let's go.
And there's going to be a lot of people. And I'm telling you, share this with people. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to watch this thing after this video is done, and there's good stuff here. So share it with people. Offensively, this is what I would focus on. I would elevate Sam Hartman off the practice squad.
As bad as he is, yes.
He would be the backup to Mariota right now, and I'd be trying to get Sam Hartman on the field every opportunity I can.
Yeah, I agree.
Josh Johnson doesn't have any purpose for this team.
Johnson is a bust. Yeah, Hartman's better. He's awful and he's better. Isn't that great?
Who's better at this particular point? Josh Johnson, 39 years old. I'm building for next year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bringing in a 40-year-old quarterback.
Yep, bring Hartman in. Let him get reps. Let him learn.
I want Hartman out there. You
He's not
elevate.
going to learn nothing under that quarterback coach who's only got college experience, though. I'm just going to say. But
It doesn't
yes, I
matter at
agree
this
with you.
time. If anything, if I was there, again, this is if I was there, I would be working on freaking Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman, as soon as I feel like the game situations at the right moment, you're going in. And if I can get you in every single game to get snaps, every single game, you're going to get it from here to the rest of the season because I'm developing you for next year.
Yep.
I envision you being the backup to Jaden Daniels next year. Otherwise, you're gone and I'm going to find somebody else.
I love you. Yes, I agree.
Here's what else I'm going to do. I'm going to elevate Donovan Edwards off the practice squad because he's 22 years old and he's a dynamic little dude. I know he's raw, but he's not going to do enough on the practice squad. This is the time I want him activated. I want him studying beneath Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt because they're both 22 years old. Imagine if you get those two developed and working together, what kind of powerful running back core you can have. Donovan Edwards has that opportunity to work with Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt that I would just love a 1-2 punch like that with 22-year-old kids. Oh, my gosh. Which means Nick McNichols, I'm kind of done with you, McNichols, because you're 29 years old.
Yeah, he had a good game this game because he got the ball. But, yeah, he's 29. He's gone. He's gone.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm bringing you back at 30 years old, McNichols?
Nope.
I don't care how good you are. If anything, I bring you back and then try to trade you.
Yeah.
But you're not on my team next year.
Yep.
Chris Rodriguez, you are going to get reps because you're my only power back right now because I got rid of B-Rob, and you better show up or because you have a chance because you're only 26. But otherwise, if you don't show up the rest of the season, I'm going to look for another power back next offseason.
Yep.
Then what I'm going to do is I love me some Ja'Cory Brooks, who's on the practice squad. I'm elevating him too. And you know who I like? I love Treylon Burks, who's only 25. And I love me some Jalen Lane. These guys have got to freaking step up. Those are my 3 wide receivers I'm going to focus on.
Wait. Where's McCaffrey?
McCaffrey's on injured reserve.
Yeah, we're talking for next year, who to focus on for next year. Where's McCaffrey?
I can't focus on him. He's freaking hurt. He's on injured reserve.
Wow.
I'm focusing on
Treylon Burks looks really good. He got separation. He looks really good.
You know, I know McCaffrey's going to be on the team next year because I still got him under contract.
All right.
But there's nothing I can focus on with him. He's freaking on IR. So I'm focusing going forward from now to the rest of the season on Ja'Cory Brooks, Treylon Burks, and Jalen Lane. I don't care about.
Okay, I'm with you. Yes, I'm with you. Yes.
Debo is the leader of this group.
Yep.
But if you notice, I know Debo's going to be out there, right? I'm looking for Debo to be that leadership. Terry McLaurin, I'm shutting him down.
Yep.
I'm going with these guys.
Yep.
My focus on
and Mariota just proved in this game that he can hit all of them. They can get a little deeper and he can hit them. He proved it in this game. So yes,
from a tight end perspective, I know I got Zach Ertz. He's going to get his playing time out there. But at every opportunity, I want to develop Ben Sinnott and Colson Yankoff because those are my young guys.
What about Bates?
Bates is too freaking old, and he's basically a fullback anyway. So yes, he's going to get playing time, but he's not my focus.
Yeah,
these guys are my focus.
Sinnott needs to get a lot more opportunity. When he gets opportunities, he takes advantage, and we don't use them enough.
We need to get him on the field more. He needs to be our focus.
Yep, we don't get him on
offensive line. I'm sorry, Brandon Coleman, that you got benched, brother, because you were stinking it up. But now going forward, your butt's going back in the starting lineup if I was there. Because you need the reps and you need to get your butt burnt a little bit. And you actually played all right last year when you were starting left tackle. So maybe you got to go back to left tackle.
Yeah.
And rotate in with freaking Tunzel.
Yeah.
Maybe we try you out at right tackle. Who knows? But I think we should
tackle better. Yes.
And Josh Connerly, hey, I didn't really want you, honestly, but since we got you, we got to develop you.
He's going to be developed. He needs
Chris
to go
Paul,
back.
we put you in there. You're 26 years old. I don't really like you, but we got you. We're going to develop you.
Yep.
All right. Everybody else on our offensive line is either old, they're kind of there. Some of them are going to stick like.
And we
Convo,
need a better O-line coach.
But I'm going to tell you guys, like these players, I'm not saying that we're not playing the other players because obviously we're playing other ones, but I'm always focusing on like, how do I get these guys more involved? Because these are the guys that I want to develop.
Yeah.
If you're not on this sheet, I'm not really trying to develop you. Doesn't mean you're not part of the team. It's just that you're not my focus point.
All right.
Now let's talk defense. My number one focus on the defensive line is one player and one player only. It's freaking Johnny Newton. I don't really care about any other player. And I really don't care about any other freaking player because every other player is 28 years older or older.
I'm going to
The
agree with you on
only-
this one. I'll agree
The
with you.
only
Yeah.
young guy I've got on the defensive line worth me putting any additional effort into
Yeah.
is Johnny Newton. And Johnny
gonna
Newton
agree.
needs some little extra effort.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one.
All right. Linebacker. This one here.
Hey-ho for sure.
Cahill needs development. McGee needs development. Madrano is going to be a beast. He just needs to keep developing. I actually think McGee's going to actually end up being really, really good and keep developing. But these are the three guys I'm focusing on. Guess who I'm not focusing on? Bobby Wagner or Frankie Louvu. They're stopgap.
Wagner's going to retire. Luvu's still going to be there. And used in the right way, Luvu is still a key part of the defense.
Of course. But I'm not focusing on them.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
thinking of
listen,
long-term.
Jordan
I'm
McGee
developing
and
players.
Madrano, I'd like to see more time with them on the field to see what they really have, right?
Well, that's what I'm doing with these
Cahill
guys.
has impressed me when he's been on the field.
So, yes, who are my starters? Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu. But guess what I'm doing? I'm looking for every opportunity to rotate those guys in and out and getting these guys more involved because I want these guys to develop and get filmed. And maybe they're swapping out every other play. And I'm talking to them. McGee, come here. Listen here, Jordan. This is what I want you doing. Like, what the flip was that? Like, I'm developing you, right? Now get your butt back over there. I want to see you do 2 more reps. Right? Because I'm building them up for next year. Like these are our guys that we could be building up, making a team around if we invest in them. The other one, okay, I didn't know that Trey Amos was already freaking out, but he was a guy I wanted to keep starting. So now that he's on IR,
for sure. Yeah, right.
Now that he's on IR, I can't focus on him.
Yeah, he'll be back next year.
Yeah, but I can't focus on him this year. So who am I going to focus on this year then? I'm going to focus on Sinistro and Ignagbani because those are my 2 young guys. All the other corners that they have, they're old, don't care. They're going to play, but I'm not focusing on them.
Yeah.
All right.
Not going to focus on Reeves.
Reeves is getting old. Safety. I mean, he's going to play, but I'm just saying, like, when I say focus, that means who am I spending time to develop?
Coaching focus.
Coaching focus. Who am I actually investing hard-earned time? A guy like Reeves or some of these other guys or Bobby Wagner or these Luvus, like you've been in the league for a long time. You develop your damn self, right? I'm focusing on the future of a football team. And I'm looking for my young guys that I have to invest in. These are my people I'm investing in. My focus for safety, Quan Martin, Percy Butler. They should be starting each one of those. And I'm rotating Tyler Owens in like a madman because I love Tyler Owens because he's got speed. He's just too raw in coverage. But I'm going to work with him.
Yeah, he got a lot of work this game. He got a lot of work. He did okay.
Good. So I hope you guys understand when I say offense and defense, like I know a lot of other players are playing. Of course they're going to play. And yeah, they're going to be part of the team going forward and stuff like that. But if you notice, the guys, when I'm talking about focus, I'm telling like coaching staff, these are my player development guys. This is where you should be spending a majority of your effort for the rest of the season. Because I'm going to tell my veterans, you need to watch film. You need to prepare for the game. You need to run the plays that I call. You need to tighten up. You need to show leadership because I'm going to be investing 75% of my time on these guys. I'm going to be in their freaking butt because I want to develop a long-term team.
Well, you also need to take the last games that we have in the back half of the season and see what you have. And will these guys fit, right? Do they fit your team? Can they take the training? Can they improve? Or do I need to make moves in the offseason, right?
That's right. But if they do and you're investing in them and they're showing progress and you're like, yes, I got them that much further along. because a lot of these old dudes are not going to be around much longer.
Yep.
I can't be spending all my time on them, especially on a losing season. All right. So now that's it. We're at an hour and 20 minutes into this thing. I appreciate you guys who paid attention. I think there's a lot of good stuff there. If you go back and you watch this video, go back and watch it again and again and again. Because I'm going to tell you, like, from what I tell you about the top 10 mistakes, there's some very, very golden nuggets there that, man, if this team would just wake up and realize those things, they'd be like, oh my gosh, we did make all those mistakes. And you want to be able to learn from those.
It's pretty clear.
And then when it comes to player development, if you're looking for a player development strategy of what you should do from now on, I laid it out for you. Where should your focus be? Who should I be focusing on? How do I do this? I'm telling you, hanging out on a plane, just hanging out together is not going to gel your football team. You just taking over play calling is not going to fix the problem.
Nope.
Your season's done. I don't know what you think you're doing. If I was to take over, that would be my strategy. And that's what I got. What do you think, Large Sarge?
I am in complete. The only disagreement in all of that with you and me is Mariota. I think he's an outstanding backup quarterback.
I didn't say he wasn't. I just said that that's not my focus.
Yeah.
My focus is Sam Hartman.
Yeah. Bring
So,
Hartman in. Bring
not really
Hartman in.
disagreeing with
Yeah, and let's get it. Let's get him reps. Let's get him ready. You know.
Yeah.
Let's
So
let's see if he's something we can work with. Yeah.
I don't think you're disagreeing with me
But
because I didn't say
we
Mariota
don't
was
have
bad.
a quarterbacks coach. It's very clear we do not have the right kind of coach to coach up. Who's that guy who
I will tell you the best quarterbacks coach that we can have right now. You want to know who it is?
He used to play for us, actually.
I'm telling you, he currently plays for. I'll tell you the best quarterback coach that we have right now is Marcus Mariota. I think he can work with Sam Hartman. And
Yes.
he can really develop him going forward
Yes.
because I'm going to bubble wrap Jaden Daniels. And I'm
Yes.
going to be like, the player coach on this team for the quarterback room needs to be Marcus Mariota.
Yeah. No,
And by the way,
I don't think that's a bad idea.
and when you're playing, you're playing. But when you can put on your little coach's hat there, Marcus, you're developing Sam Hartman.
Yep. And Jaden
Show him
Daniels.
the ropes.
And Jaden Daniels.
So, because Jaden Daniels needs to see it on the film. And maybe you can point some things out to Jaden on the film. All right, guys. Well, that's our show. Love you guys. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Large Sarge, for carrying the weight on the beginning part. Football starts, baby. We are out of here. Hell! Oh, my goodness, man. I got to get out of this thing and I end this show.
It's already ended.